We be on them highways. Tell them be cool, we on the byways. Bring out the word, they looking sideways. I don't do it my way. We on them highways. Tell them be cool, we on the byways. Bring out the word, they looking sideways. I don't do this my way. I hold a 6-man. Demons rolling up, I'm about to fix that. Scoffer about to talk, I got the word for him. I ain't even know I even heard from him. Scriptures coming out and ain't no word from him. As soon as I pull out the laws, they run away. You was laughing, he gon' laugh at me.
Alright, let me show you something right quick. Just right quick. I know you gotta go. Hey, can you turn that around? Turn that side around right quick. I want to show you something. What's your last name?
Martin.
Martin. Yeah. Right? I got some family last name Martin. This is what the soldier was showing you. We came from the west coast of Africa, right? Yeah. On the transatlantic slave trade, we've been scattered throughout all the earth, right? Now we have names like Martin, Jackson, Maldonado, Velasquez. Why do we have those last names?
We're going to give it to them by somebody giving it to us.
When you are a slave, you take on the name of your slave master.
That's right.
That's why we had those names. Yeah. When our forefathers got off those slave ships, when none of us named Martin. Right. You understand what I'm saying? So now, why did this happen to us? And what do we need to do now to get those names off of us?
Right.
That's what that's the problem. Because see, I'm gonna show you something. One of the reasons why we suffer, because these are curses that are upon us, Deuteronomy 28:15, is because we broke God's commandments. Today is the Sabbath day, okay? This is a day that God specifically made for himself and made it a covenant with us.
So we still serving God, we're not leaving God on.
What do you mean we're not leaving God?
You said, something that you said made me think you said that real quick. I can't repeat it to myself, but to you, but I know the one.
We went on slave ships. The transatlantic slave trade is in the Bible. Right, we're going to read it. Just give me the point. 28:68.
I gotta run. Honestly, on my
just listen to it while you're walking in. Because this is the best information you ever going to hear.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 68.
I want you to listen to this, bro.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Because as a nationality, as a race of people, the Israelites served in Egypt. Bruh, I'm going to tell you right now. Right now, what you're hearing, this is either going to determine if you live or die. Ain't nothing else more important.
Right.
Read.
Again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again.
When we came over here on slave ships, the prophecy was we were not going to see our homeland as a nation of people again. Okay? Read.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
So now I asked the brother, how did he get the last name of Martin? Read that last part again.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Now, y'all play sports around here, right? On the back of your jersey is what name? You don't have your last name on the back of your jersey? Let's say you're in college or you get to the pros. What name is on the back of your jersey? Huh? Okay, so it'll be your last name, right? The scriptures say we will be what?
Sold unto your enemies.
That's not your last name on the back of that jersey.
Right.
You understand? Whose last name is it on the back of that jersey? White. The white man. Read it again.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies, for bondmen and bondwomen.
We would be sold unto our enemies. That's how we got the name Martin, Johnson, Jackson. You understand?
Right.
We are property here in America.
That's right.
Do you understand it? What are we reading out of? We're reading out of the Holy Bible. Have you ever heard that written in the Bible? No. Why not?
Bring it out.
Because the people that have taught you the Bible, this has been there the whole time, they didn't want you to know that, because once you know something, you're responsible for that knowledge, right?
Right.
Give me Deuteronomy 28:15.
Bring it out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Hold on a second. Hey, get this brother a flower right here. Wait, get a flower, brother, before you go. Get a flower. What's your name, bro? You good? What's your last name? You don't know? You see that? Now, I know the brother know his last name. I know he know his last name. But here's the problem. This is what we're trying to show our people. This is why we in the condition we in.
Right.
Because you know what? If the coach asked him his last name, he gonna write it down so he can play ball.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Read it again.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So now, we're going to read about curses, punishments that will come upon us and overtake us. I want to show you, before we get there, I want you to get Exodus 31:16, because I was telling you, today is the Lord's Sabbath day.
Right.
I'm going to give you one example of why we are under these curses in America today.
Bring it out.
Okay?
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 31, and verse 16. Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations.
So now, we're supposed to keep the Sabbath day throughout our generations. Now, you know what a generation is? What's a generation, brother? Okay, your family tree. Okay, I like that. Because you have a father, that's one generation. Now you're another generation. You have a son, that'll be another generation. Read that again.
Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations.
So now, on Saturday, the Sabbath day, throughout as long as we reproducing, we have to understand that this is the Lord's Sabbath day. He made a covenant with us, and we're supposed to keep this day holy. Right. We're going to get the understanding of how we keep this day holy. But the reason I'm bringing this out is to show you the condition that we live in. Being the last higher first fire, being on the bottom with health care, our living condition, having baby mamas, baby daddies, high drug usage, all these things that come upon us. Black on black crime is because we broke God's commandments.
That's right.
That's the reason. And we're going to show you according to the Bible.
For a perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever.
This is a sign between the Most High God and us. Now, let me ask you this. Before we get back to the curses, what does the Most High God look like? He's black. How do you know that? You don't. You've heard it before? Let's read it for you.
Bring it out.
Let's get Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. Let's see what the Most High God looks like. What do Christ look like? He's white. So now, is Christ the Son of God? No? So you see there's a disconnect. I asked you what God looks like. You said he's black. I asked you what Christ looks like. You said he's white. We're going to go through the scriptures, all right, to give you the understanding. Because this is your history, brother.
Right.
This is your history. This is your laws. This is your heritage. But you know what? Because of the image, give me the image of the devil. Give me the beast. Because of this image, because of this image right here, we have fallen away from this, which is our true heritage. Okay? So now we're going to give you what Christ looks like and why it's important. Give me that. Let's get the Most High first.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
The Ancient of Days is the Most High God. He has no beginning or end of days.
Whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool.
Who got woolly hair, brother? Who got woolly hair on the planet? Woolly hair. Who got woolly hair?
You do.
Feel your hair, brother. What kind of hair? You got straight, stringy hair? What our people call good hair? You got good hair? You got nappy hair. It's called woolly hair.
That's right.
Okay? Read that again.
And the hair of his head like the pure wool.
We're reading the description of the Most High God.
Right.
You understand? He got woolly hair.
That's
Let's
right.
get 10:15 or 10 and 5. Let's get a depiction of Christ. Let's see what Christ looks like.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 10 and verse 5. Then I lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with the fine gold of Uphaz. His body also was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass.
What color is brass, brother?
Color is brass.
Brass. You ever seen a penny? Brown. Read that last part about in color.
And his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass.
Let's look at your arms. Let's look at your feet. What color is that? Same color as Christ.
That's right.
Do you see that? We're reading about Jesus the Christ. We read that the Most High God is a black man with woolly hair. Christ, his son, looked just like him. Give me Revelation 1:14, just straight to the point.
Bring it out.
Straight to the point. Then I'm going to show you something. Why is this important? Because under this image comes a doctrine. And under the doctrine that we've been under, you know what? You got high rates of STDs. You got black on black crime.
Right.
You got self-hatred.
Right.
Why is it that every time one of our brothers is successful, he want to go get a woman of another nation instead of a woman that looked like the mother that birthed him?
Bring it out.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 14.
What's going on, brother?
His head and his hairs were white like wool, and his eyes are as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. And
Read that again.
his head and his hairs were white like wool.
So Christ got woolly hair just like the Most High God. Just like who? Just like who? And who? And who? And who? You! I want you to connect the dots, brother. You got the same hair that Christ got.
Right.
You got the same hair that the Most High God got.
Right.
Look at the brother to your right. He got the same hair. Look at the brother to your left. He got the same hair. What's that? Why are we bringing this out? Why has this been taught to you in church? Because it destroys the doctrine that came with that image that say God is for all people.
Right.
You understand? That's not true. You can't find that nowhere in the Bible. Read on.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet as if they burned in a furnace.
I'm going to ask you again. What color your feet? What color your arms? Okay. You got the same skin tone, the same complexion as Christ. Why does that matter? Give me Hebrews chapter 2, verse 16. I'm going to show you why that matters. Then we're going to get back to these laws and these curses. And we're going to show beyond color who we really are.
Bring it out.
In 2018, all right? Because it's important that you understand who you are. Because you know what? Once you leave from in front of us today, you have the knowledge. What you do with that knowledge is up to you, brother. If you keep letting your brothers pull you off in the midst of wickedness, you're going to be judged more heavily than they will. Read.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 2 and verse 16. For verily he took not on him the nature of angels, but he took on him the seed of Abraham. Wherefore in all things it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren.
Made like who?
Like unto his brethren.
What does brethren look like, brother? You, him, us. Read that part again. He must be what?
Wherefore in all things it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren.
Christ had to be made like unto his brethren.
Right.
Not all people. So somebody say, it don't matter what Christ looked like. They're a liar. Because it said he must be made like his brother. So now, let's go back to Deuteronomy 28:15. Do you have any questions so far? Do you understand what's coming out? So, someone? Do you understand the color of Christ now? Do you understand the color of the Most High God? Do you understand that you come from the same bloodline as Christ? Do you understand it or not? Because if you don't understand that, don't say you do. We will help you get further understanding. You understand? Okay. Deuteronomy 28:15.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So now, the Bible is telling us that if we don't keep God's commandments, we're going to be under curses. Curses, good or bad? They're bad, right? Verse 16.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Are there many different people that live in the city, or just one nation of people in the city? Many different people in the city, right? Is there a rich section of the city? What do the people look like in the rich section of the city? White. Why not black people? Why when I ask you the rich section of the city, you don't say black?
Bring it out.
Huh? Well, we're going to give you the answer. Read it again.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
The Bible says, cursed would we be in the city. When you go into the rich section of the city, do you see garbage all over the place? Do you see sisters walking up and down the street selling their bodies? Do you see brothers standing on the corner selling the white man drugs? You don't see those things? Read it again.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Why are we cursed in the city? Because the Most High God said this was one of the curses on us for breaking his commandment. That's why I started by showing you first. Today is the Sabbath day. We're supposed to be keeping it holy. You understand? Read on.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
You know what? We were cursed in the cotton fields and the tobacco fields. Let me get the, that's the slavery. Where the other? Yeah, give me this one. Give me this one. Hold this up. This is us being sold on auction blocks, okay? This is us working in where? The cotton fields. We know cotton fields have been all throughout what? Georgia, North and South Carolina, Mississippi, right? Texas, Tennessee. Go ahead.
Should we also say that we're cursed in the field of our job, our profession?
Absolutely. Did you hear what the brother said? We are cursed on our jobs and our professions. Again, we the last hired, the first fired. There is documented fact that a so-called white boy with a high school diploma makes more money than a black man with a college degree.
Right.
That's a fact.
Right.
Read the last part again. Excellent observation, brother.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Cursed shall we be in the field. So we was cursed in the tobacco and cotton fields. Now we cursed on our job. You understand? Jump down to verse 32.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Our sons, our daughters shall be given unto another people, meaning another race of people. That happened when we came off the slave ships. Back to why I asked the brother, what's your last name? Like the soldier was bringing out, that they think that their houses would last forever, be established forever. That's why you got their name.
Right.
You the entertainment. When you run up and down the field, when you cross over somebody and dunk, when you sing,
right.
When you dance,
right.
You're their entertainment.
That's right.
Give me, what's that, Psalms, hold that, because we're coming right back there. Psalms 137 and 1.
Bring it out.
Why has the Christian church never taught you this? We ain't doing nothing but reading the Bible, bro. That's all we doing. We're just reading the Bible. I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what all of our people have collecting dust at home.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 137 and verse 1. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept when we remembered Zion.
We wept when we remembered our homeland. Why? Because we were carried off into captivity. Just like today in 2018, we are not in our homeland. We're in a strange land.
Right.
Amongst our enemies. Read.
We hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. For there they that that carried us away captive.
Now I want you to hear this very carefully. They that carried us away captive. How did we get over here? On slave ships.
That's right.
They that carried us over here on slave ships required something of us. What they require, brother?
Required of us a song.
Required of us a song. Sing, Negro. Make me feel good. You understand? Read on.
And they that wasted us required of us mirth.
And they that destroyed us required of us laughter.
Bring it
Why
out.
do you think so many of our young generation aspires to be? You tell me what the young generation aspires to be. Athletes? What else? Some on drug dealers. Okay. That's a low expectation. Go ahead. Singers? Somebody want to go to college. But if you want to really make money in this captivity here in America, what do you aspire to be? An entertainer of some sort, right? Okay, wait a minute. So now let me ask you something. Who makes more money? A doctor or an athlete? An athlete. Why? Which is more important? A doctor. If I'm having a heart attack, do I want to see a football game? Nah, I need a doctor.
T-Chop.
If I need my gallbladder removed, do I need to go see Jay-Z? Nah, I need a doctor, right? Why do you think this is set up the way it is?
Bring it out.
What day do we participate in sports primarily?
Bring it out.
What day? High school football is what day? Friday. The Sabbath day begins Friday, Sunday. College football is what day? It ends Saturday, sundown. So now they got us in the midst of sin, right? What about Little League football? Saturday, right? What about if you want to go to the comedy club? What day is you want to see Cat Williams or somebody big? What day is the show? Friday. It's Saturday, right? Keeping us breaking the Lord's Sabbath day.
Right.
Do you understand? Movie premieres. I'll praise you. What day did do Jordans come out? Friday. You see that? They want to keep you breaking the Lord's Sabbath day. Let's see how we keep the Sabbath day holy.
Can't come out Friday too.
Yeah, drop that. Let's see how we make the Lord's Sabbath day holy. Get Exodus 20 and 8 first. And then we're going to see how we keep the Lord's Sabbath day holy. Because right now, and a lot of our brothers may not understand this, they working on the Lord's Sabbath day. But that's why our stores is cursed. The white man that owns this place, he works Monday through Friday. Or at least he manages Monday through Friday because we doing his work for him.
That's right.
He's out somewhere enjoying himself.
Right.
He out on the ocean on his boat. He out seeing the game.
Right.
He doing what he want to do. What are we doing? This is the day I got to get my hustle on. Ain't that when a lot of our black men make their most money? Fridays and Saturdays?
Right.
Okay, read that.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 8.
Is any of this making sense to you, brother? Are you starting to get the understanding of why we in the condition that we in? We're the only people that have a true and living God.
That's right.
So there's an expectation for us. And we're going to read that. Read.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
Hey, what's going on, brother? Y'all got a minute?
Yo, we out there.
1 minute, brother. Come on, 1 minute. 1 minute. Let me ask you a question. What's your last name, brother?
For mine?
Yeah.
It's Dallas.
Dallas?
Yeah.
How you get that last name, brother? How you get that last name?
My mama gave it to me.
Your mama gave it to you, right? What's your last name, brother? Huh? Cox. So when we got out the slave ship, did our forefathers get out the slave ships with your name? No. So how do we get them?
We got the names because that's just our names, you know. That's just how
You don't know how we got the name?
Yeah, we was born.
Do you want to know how we got the name?
I already know how we got them.
Okay, how we get the name? That's your last.
We was born
Teach me
there.
something.
My mama said,
See that? This this is why I say, you standing here listening, I'll praise the Most High got your feet planted and your spirit humble to listen. Do you see a lot of our people, they don't care. Right. So then, if we don't care when your brother, the prophet, is teaching you why we're in this condition, why do we want to march when one of our brothers in the midst of wickedness gets shot down by a white cop and say this ain't fair?
Right.
That's a question. Why is it important then? When the prophets is giving you the understanding, it's not important for you to learn, because whatever you got to do you think is more important than learning how to get life, which is keeping the commandments, how to gain the kingdom of heaven, which is rulership over the other nations.
That's right.
That's not important.
Right.
Read what you got.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
You see what he said? 6 days we supposed to do our work. But the 7th day, which is today, it started at sundown yesterday. It will continue to sundown today. He said we ain't supposed to do no work.
And we will see the true men of God. We are not black men, we are the Israelites. That's right. Take care of us. Take care of us. And our children too. And our children too. We have repented. We have repented. How about you? How about you? People want to know who's the king.
O nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father. O nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father.
Now why they trying to make it so hard to serve God? And why when I say that I'm a Jew, it sound odd? For years I've been walking around saying that I'm a black man. I ain't saying that no more, it sound wrong, man.
This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcast, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.